Yeah.
Okay, good evening, or I should say good evening, a la Emery.
Evening,
Even in.
even,
Evening.
evening.
Yeah, episode 11, we're in now, and we are going to discuss the season review for 2024-2025 football season, that is. McSweeney, you mentioned about grading teams. I'm assuming I'm talking about teams, right? Not players.
It was actually a season grading for the whole team, the
Ah,
manager, how Chelsea's done this season,
oh,
basically.
I thought you were talking about all the teams in the Premier League,
Oh no, no, no. So
in general, or
it's basically to say
Chelsea.
like how you think Chelsea have done this season. Your season grading. It's the league, it's cups, it's the whole thing. It's the whole season.
Fair enough, fair enough.
And we can either do it at the start or do it at the end.
Now let's kick it off like that, and I'll let you drive with it first of all. So yeah, go ahead, discuss Chelsea, and I guess we'll round it off and discuss other clubs and stuff as we go along.
Yeah.
We've got to have a laugh at Man United as well, of course, and Arsenal.
So I actually think I'll give us a. I'm doing it very precise. I'll give us a B minus. So um, I've not gone over the top of it because I think we've done well. We've done well to get into the top four. Obviously, I know it's extended Champions League spots to five places plus Europa League winners. Unfortunately, that was Spuds. Um, but yeah, I think finishing in the top four, it kind of exceeded my expectations. I thought we'd probably make about fifth, possibly sixth. So that for me was that was a plus. Obviously, if you compare it to like previous years, like say 10, 15, 20 years ago, it's a bit of an underwhelming season. But I think that coupled with lifting a trophy, and no matter what the caliber of the trophy is, we've still got a European trophy
Yeah.
in the bank and completed the full set again. Because obviously we had to do it again after they incarnated this trophy in UEFA. So I think B minus is probably about right. I wouldn't go mad about the season, but I think we've done well to sort of show a bit of grit and determination to get through difficult spells. The manager I'll come on to later, but I think yeah, overall we've done pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. My personal rating, I'd probably give it a C, a high C or a C plus, if you want to call it. Um, I think because of the fact that we hadn't won the Conference League, if someone had asked me at the beginning of the season, "Oh, you're in the Europa League or you're in the Conference League," as much as the Europa League is a better competition, I would have probably opted for the Conference League just purely because we haven't won it, and now we're the only team to have won the set. So yeah, and obviously it was really nice seeing all the players celebrating on Monday. Sorry, Wednesday. And yeah, just to win a trophy and again, obviously securing top four as well. My rating would have been a bit higher if we hadn't dipped off in the winter as badly as we did. Of
Yeah,
course, with the manager situation as well, as you know, I was more or less singing Maresca out all season, to be honest, even right now, I still think he's not good enough. I still think he needs to go. But yeah, I'd say C plus. What about you, Timothy?
um, I'd probably go for the B minus. Primarily because we won a European tournament, and in all honesty, someone had to win it. And I kind of know that we had like the best team bar none, and were going to countries such as Kazakhstan and like we nearly had to go over to Ireland to play Shamrock Rovers, and nearly had to go over to Armenia to go and play FC. No other, they came to us instead. Blah, blah, blah. For us to finish fourth in the table, I think was the cherry on the cake because we were kind of fighting out for that last spot. It felt like for a team like us to have to fight it out on the last game of the season with other teams such as Forest, Newcastle, and Villa, and City as well, felt like it was like a thorn inside. To be honest, like we shouldn't really be fighting with teams like those, but this season itself, there have been teams such as Forest who have just been out and out one of the best teams in the league, bar Liverpool, who actually won the title and they were second to none anyway. But then you had teams like Villa who had a brilliant season within Europe. Um, Other teams like Bournemouth and Brighton and so on and so forth, who just like were the creme de la creme. And I know that we're obviously going through the motions of a team, new manager, new board, this, that, and the third. So it's like getting used to the whole system itself. But to be fighting, I know that we weren't fighting for the title itself, but we were up in the top three, top two. Were we ever top two?
We were second, weren't we? I'm sure we were.
Yeah, we
No.
could have gone. We could have gone top. I was in America at the time, and if we'd have beaten Everton away, pretty sure we would have gone top before the other teams played that game week.
Yeah, because
Did you kick off?
They did like an interview with all the higher ups, like with Maresca and Palmer, basically saying, "Can you guys win the Premier League this season?" When they'd won a good few games, and Cole Palmer just did his like typical like poker face and like he screwed up his face a little bit. Went, no, mate, not this shit. But we'll win something. We won't win the title. Another bit of the icing on the cake was when we won the final on Wednesday. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the first time in 27 attempts that a Spanish team has lost a European final since 2001. It's either the 22nd time or the 27th time. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So like the last time was Valencia lost against Bayern Munich in the Champions League final. The Champions League final, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of shows like we were destined to win that trophy because of all the teams that we were coming up against. And then I was behind the sofa a little bit on Wednesday because in that first half we were like absolute dog shit.
It was horrible.
One of the worst halves that we've had.
Yeah, disgusting watching it. Yeah, it was horrible.
And then Cole Palmer decided to come out and then absolutely wreck the place. But yeah, be either plus or minus. You know what? I'll just go for a B. I won't even go plus or minus because I'm not too sure, to be honest.
I think with what you guys have said, obviously, you know, to be in top four and have a trophy, yes, it is a pretty good season. I think for me, what brought in that season, like I said, is the way we dipped. You know, as we just discussed, we could have been top at one point, and just a capitulation to go so deep and then literally be fighting for our lives. And let's not be funny. Like, if it wasn't for Forest being so fucking shit, we would have probably just about missed out as well. And you know, results went our way, obviously, and we went on that great run at the end. So we were quite lucky, if I'm honest. But we got the job done. That's all that matters. We're in another competition next year. I mean, don't think we're going to go anywhere near winning the Champions League, especially again with Maresca there. I know. I don't know who they're going to bring in this summer. I'm hoping, as we've been crying for all season, bringing some fucking experience for once instead of going with these fucking youngsters. But yeah, we've got such a big squad, even all these players out on loan. I'm just hoping, really hoping we get in. I know there's Delap, I think, has been signed. It's not been official yet, but I just don't agree with that signing. It matches the Chelsea way, young player, cheap, but I would have loved for them to go for an Osimhen or, you know, someone experienced, even someone a little bit older, but they're clearly not going to do that, are they?
They might still do that. I was reading stats. They might still do that with like Osimhen, or I know to us we're sceptical, but I don't think the door's completely shut on that.
Oh, I really hope not. Yeah, because Jackson, as you know, fucking donkey. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. Yeah, he gets goals here and there, but from what I see week in, week out, it's not good enough. I think our midfield is pretty solid. Caicedo's been mint. Enzo's been really good as well. If I am brutally honest, I think he's been really good actually. Lavia's a great replacement to come in as well. We need another defender for sure. I think right back we're pretty well covered with Gusto and James. Left back Cucurella, he's been brilliant this season as well. I don't know if Vega is going to come back. Obviously, I still don't understand why he went away on loan to Juventus. I mean, it was a bit of a weird. I can understand Disasi pissing off because he was dog shit, but I thought Vega was okay in parts when he did play. I didn't have anything negative to really say about him, so I thought that was a bit weird, him going out on loan. But luckily, Cucurella wasn't injured, and we managed to survive okay without Vega. So, and obviously, we need a fucking goalkeeper. We need a decent goalkeeper. I don't know what's happening with the Kepa situation. I think we might send him off to Bournemouth permanently. We've still got Petrovic. We've got, obviously, Jorgensen, who made I think one or two errors this season, but Sanchez again should not be number one in my honest opinion. I'll let you guys discuss what you think about Sanchez, but he's just not good enough. Too many mistakes, poor with his feet. Again, another donkey. In all honesty,
Well, they've kind of they've got this Mike Penders guy coming in from Genk, haven't they? I don't know if you've heard of him. He's 19. He's
no, I
basically
haven't.
to be
No.
the next Courtois. I won't call Courtois the other nickname I've got for him.
Snake. Snake.
Nah, something else. But yes, he's like 6'7". You know, he's absolute sort of giraffe, but Belgian giraffe. And he's like, people are talking about him as like being this guy that's going to eventually come in after being on loan, where he's going to go on loan to and be like the answer. But I'm doubtful as to whether we will actually go for a recognised keeper. I mean, I'm hearing that apparently Brentford have gone for Kelleher, and I actually think Kelleher. People
Good
say, oh, yeah, he's second string at Liverpool. I think he's good.
He's really good keeper, and I think I saw the price of around 80 million. That's a steal, mate, for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he'd have been a good one to have gone for. Get Petrovic back, but of course he's already dismissed that because he went for Sanchez in the first place, and that was his first error, in my opinion, and that's before he even kicked the ball. And yeah, so I think with the goalkeeper situation, I'm more, put it this way, I'm more hopeful that we'll finally get the striker situation sorted out in the goalkeeper situation.
Maybe one winger, because we don't know what's happening with Mudryk. So I think maybe get one winger in to play it safe. I mean, who have we got? I mean, our starters in terms of wingers, we've got Neto, Madueke. They are more or less the main starters at the minute. I know we've got
George.
Tariq George. We've got Chukwuemeka, who went out on loan. Sancho, who's
Sterling.
still don't know if he's coming or going. Sterling, hopefully, gets fucking binned. He's dog shit as well. And I'm sure I'm missing out one or two players. Like even striker, I think I mentioned Broja the other day. What's happening with him? I'm assuming they're going to bin him off as well. And Kunku, fucking hell, he needs to go. He's awful. So we just got such a big squad. It's crazy. I'm hoping they also bin off Disasi, Badiashile. Probably, be good to get rid of him. Wesley Fofana, fuck me. Like, what's the point? Like when he plays, he can be quite rash and quite shit in all honesty, but then he sometimes has some really good games. There's clearly some talent there, but mate is just so fucking injury prone. It's just not good enough. I mean, if they to pay 75 million for him when he had been out for a year at Leicester already was ridiculous in the first place, but he needs to go, in my honest opinion. I don't think they should keep him. I think you got to build that defense around Colwill, obviously, and get Tosin in starting all the time.
Right,
Chalobah, missing. Chalobah. That was it.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem to fancy Chalobah because he had his his pants pulled down about that as well, wasn't it? Because he sent him out on loan to Palace, and my mate's Palace fan, still have a fair bit of Palace, and they absolutely loved him, and then to have to recall him halfway through the season, and then say, I didn't think you were good enough back at the start of the season, but now you're good enough.
Yeah,
I mean, they need to keep him. He's such a good. He is a great player. He's got the experience. If anything, one of the more senior players in the defense. Funnily enough, keep him and have it. To be honest, start him ahead of Tosin. If I forgot about him for a second there, but I'm hearing rumours about them.
Whenever Tosin's played, I mean, he has been a little bit edgy, but I'm confident in him. I'm a confident man.
Over Chalobah. Who do you have starting? That's the question. Tosin or Chalobah?
Chalobah first, but what I'm trying to say is that I would still have faith in Tosin though.
100%, over the others,
over the others,
But I've been hearing rumours where they might try to ship Chalobah back to Crystal Palace and like money on top and get Gahey back. That geezer from Everton, Brantford, whatever his name is.
Oh, he's class. I think he's really good, Brantford.
Yeah, I've not seen much of him, but I was seeing a clip on Facebook the other day about them talking about him.
I mean, there's a bit of bias. I'd rather get Gahey back, but I think Brantford would be class. Alfie Gilchrist, I think he sort of faded off.
I forgot about him.
Because I liked him because he was a fighter. Scored that goal against Everton, didn't he? In 6-0. And I think he's like a scrapper. He's like proper Chelsea, as they say, and I think he's probably going to get sold. That Bashi Humphries guy's gone to Burnley. But you'd like to think that we're going to probably sign someone, but we have got the talent, albeit young talent, but yeah,
But all those other players that we bought, like Uga Chukwu, Carney, even
yeah,
to be honest with you, I know he played a little bit and scored 1 or 2 goals.
I quite like him.
Santos, who went out to Strasbourg, he was like smacking it for Brazil under 21s, whatever it is, like captaining them. He was looking really solid, but then obviously they shipped him out. They bought those 2 new players as well. I can't
Esteval,
remember. Yeah,
Esteval Willian, yeah, and
and the
Kendrick
other one.
Byers.
One of them was a Sporting Lisbon guy, right? That you just mentioned.
What, Kendrick Byers?
Yeah, he was from Sporting Lisbon, right?
No, he was like,
We
is it
bought
Ecuador? I think
no,
it was
so
Ecuador.
we bought someone else from Sporting Lisbon in the winter, didn't we? But obviously he's gonna come like in the summer or next summer or something like that. So that's 3 other players because I
Yeah,
can't remember his name. And again, all these players that we've got out on loan, it's just like, well, what are they going to do? We need to have a huge clear out this summer, but you know how they are. You know how the board are. They're going to go in and buy a ton of more new players. That fucking geezer we bought from Aston Villa, Kellyman, like, he didn't even play a single game. That was obviously some that was obviously some FFP weird bullshit. My mate was talking about it from work the other day about how we sold them someone, or they bought
Matson.
someone from Newcastle, a goalkeeper.
Yeah,
And Matson as well. Yeah, it was all part of some dodgy FFP bullshit. And yeah, Kellyman, yeah, again, not a single game. So what was the fucking
but,
point of that?
but it's the same. It's the same like fire sale every summer, isn't it? Really, and
Yeah,
obviously, but they must turn up for pre-season. Like obviously they got a Club World Cup, but
yeah,
turn up
yeah,
for pre-season and think like, how many people can you fit into that change room?
yeah, exactly. I mean, Pochettino had the same problem like
Yeah,
over a year ago, 2 years ago. So yeah, it's going to be interesting what happens. But yeah, as we mentioned, striker, probably another winger and defender, and hopefully a decent goalie. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, what's next? Let's talk about Maresca first of all. So for me, as I might have alluded to before, I still I'm still pro Maresca out. I don't think he's good enough to lead us to a Premier League title. His mentality, again, I'm sure I shared the clips with you guys about how Tuchel was asked the same question, and he was like, "Of course we want to win the league. We're fighting. I'm here to win. I'm here to win trophies. I'm not here to come fourth." Whereas the mentality of Maresca last winter was, oh yeah, we're not challenging for the title, and then surprise, surprise, we obviously became a total shit, and went down the league quite heavily. I just don't think he's a elite manager who can win us the league. As we've said, Panland Pep, the nickname we've given him,
yeah.
he is exactly that. But yeah, what are your guys' opinions on Maresca?
I'll let Tom go.
Um, he's uh, he's won a trophy in his last 2 seasons. So he's won the championship with Leicester, which is a lot of top European countries. Maybe not top, but let's say like Austria, Switzerland, Sweden. If you threw them into the championship, they wouldn't be able to fight it out. A lot of the teams in the championship as well, you could probably have about 8 teams fighting out for the title year in, year out. So to come out green and win the title in his first season there is a massive plus. To win a European title, which is fair enough, the third best club European title to win in a season, is still a huge feat. And to have a lot of the ag on his shoulders throughout the whole season, not just from the fans, but from the board as well, who don't know their arse from their elbow whenever it comes to the fucking football team. Um, he's dealt with the bollocks well. He's dealt with the pressure well. He's dealt with the hierarchy well. I wouldn't say that I'm confident in him. Who who is the next potential manager if he does decide to walk, or if he does decide to get told to fuck off? I mean, to me,
You know
that,
who you know who I've been banging on about for a while now. McSweeney knows.
go on.
McSweeney, who do I want to be the next manager of Chelsea? Chelsea legend.
Chelsea legends.
Yeah, who have I
Not
been
John
banging on
Terry, is
about?
it?
No. Which name have I mentioned in the past? I've forgotten already.
Maybe I've forgotten already. I've probably just been too focused on my own ranting about Maresca.
Chelsea legend Didier Deschamps, mate.
Oh, sorry, the
Get
water
him in.
carrier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Get him in.
but are you being serious about that, or is that
I
is that
am. I'm dead serious. I think.
really?
I think his time with France is done, mate. Get him in. I mean, yeah. Obviously, I joke about the legend thingy because he only played one season for us, but he's a proven manager. He's won, at the top level, got to finals. Get him in. I mean, he has a link to Chelsea, having played for them for 1 year, but I can't think of anyone else.
Can't speak. Trouble is, he can't speak English like Zidane. He can't speak much English.
Really,
Can't speak English.
he must have learned some fucking English playing in England for a year.
I don't think he really bothered to. Yeah, again, I liked him because he obviously won the FA Cup with him and all that, and there was like legends like George Weah in that team. But from my understanding, is he doesn't speak much English. Now, I might be completely wrong. He might come out and start, reciting Shakespeare poetry to.
The Queen's English.
Yeah,
fucking hell, he's a geezer. I didn't realise he was a geezer.
Well, he's similar to like Cantona, but
yeah,
I don't think he does. I don't think he does. But again, like as a manager, I still think back to when they beat us. He beat us with his Monaco team in 2004.
Of course,
and they got absolutely spanked in the final against Porto because he's very defensive, isn't he? I know he's won stuff. He's won the World Cup with France and that, but I just see him as a very sort of like he's almost like a Rafa Benitez or like a Gerard Houllier, like a better version of what was that? Claude Puel.
Oh,
Someone like that.
I can't really think of anything else, Timothy. Going back to it's a good point. Who can they bring in? I know I'm being
getting Thomas Frank. I think he's Brentford. He's been absolutely unbelievable, and give him a club, take him to a club at ours. He's. I don't really saw out the defence because their defence is pretty shocking this season, but I think you get more out of this squad than Maresca would.
But we've gone down the different angles of pick someone who is young. We picked Lampard and we picked Potter, and that didn't work out. We went down the route of let's pick someone who has experience in Tommy Tuchel, who I think I would love him back, but he wouldn't be back because of the issues with the board and because he's obviously got a job that he's not even fucking started yet anyway. And then they went for let's pick someone who has started off well, and that was Maresca, and he was under the wing of Pep for quite a bit too, and that's working out well at the moment because we won our title, which is the first trophy that we've won in for 4 years, but it just feels like something's missing. Like if we had like Deschamps, who's a proven winner. If we had if we had a Luis Enrique who won the Champions League yesterday and literally spanked the living shit out of Inter, but I don't think he would be dumb enough to leave. But mind you, they've won the treble, haven't they? So he's won the lot there now. He's won there like he's won in Spain. May as well come to England and see if he can do well there. Thomas Tuchel, who won us the Champions League, I would love him back, but I know there was a lot of politics around.
Yeah, he won't come back. He won't come back with this board.
So there's no point.
It's not gonna happen.
So I don't know. Like if we keep Enzo for a little bit longer, fine, and he'll be more than welcome to stay. But I just don't see him staying, to be honest.
I think I do want to mention on Maresca, although I'm being harsh on him, I don't want him to leave because I don't want a new manager coming in. Oh, I need to create my style again. I need to gel the players all over again. I was so against Poch leaving because he had gone on a good run the previous season, and then they went and fucking binned him off and got Pan and Pepin. Now, although I don't want Maresca to stay, I think he will obviously, and I want him to carry on building. But I just can't see him winning a major trophy for us unless we get good recruitment. I think recruitment is the key, if I'm honest. Mr. McSweeney, your opinions on Maresca before we move on?
Yeah, so the games I went to, I didn't go to as many games this season. I went to about half a dozen to 6 to 8 games or something. But I looked at like particularly some of the dross that was being served up towards the end of the season. Yeah, in the Legia Warsaw game, Southampton at home game where their fans are bantering themselves. And the first I think the first 23 minutes of that game, or whatever it was until we scored. I think Cole might have got the first goal, which is terrible. It was like one of the worst sort of live performances I'd seen, like opening parts of a game I'd seen from Chelsea in like since I've been going. And I was against the joint worst Premier League team in history. So, and in other games as well, it just looks like he just basically has a handbrake on and he shackles them to the point where I know a lot of teams now mess about playing out from the back, but there's times where even when the likes of Neto want to go forward and penetrate and end up sort of checking in and going back to the keeper. And it just completely kills any momentum. It allows oppositions to get back into their shape. I think he's tactically he's very stubborn, isn't he? Like similar to what Sarri was. I just see like a mini Sarri out there. And again, credibility to him for winning something with us and get us in his top 4 Champions League. You know, he can sit there and he can sort of be smug and tell the media that they're all doubting him and doubting the team, but it was actually him that created that whole narrative around what he said. It's basically like taking air out of a balloon halfway through the season. That was my opinion of the way he conducts himself, and if he learns from it, great. We can go places, but I'm just not sure. I think he's a bit too wet behind the ears in terms of his managerial resume and his experience, and I think ultimately, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets given a boot by, say, the new year.
Yeah, I think if we start off shit in the season, I think he won't last long for sure. This year, obviously, they persevered with him, and it worked out in the end. The trophy that we won, we were always meant to win it. I mean, if we didn't win it, it would have been embarrassing, really, really embarrassing. So, and getting top 4, obviously, like I said before, we were lucky on others playing shit and not doing their job. So we crept in there. We did our job by winning.
Yeah, do you not think it's similar type managers like Solskjaer as well? Like, to be fair, like again, Maresca has got us over the line with a trophy, but Solskjaer would just go on these runs where they're like really good, and then they'd be really poor, wouldn't they? Because of who he was, it was like he had the credit in the bank, but this guy unfortunately hasn't got the credit in the bank. Well, he's probably got credit in the bank now, but he didn't have it to start with. He's gained some credit, but it's just how long that credit lasts for, in terms of the fans' eyes and the board's eyes.
I think the Club World Cup will be interesting, although no one gives a two shits about it, if I'm honest. I mean, we're not going to win it, but it would be good to go far. Don't get me wrong, it would be good to go far, but it'll be interesting to see how that tournament plays out. And the signings, again, I think recruitment is so key this summer, I should say. And hopefully get off to a good start next season and see how we get on. But fingers crossed. I do want to mention the Champions League final yesterday because fuck me, one of the worst performances from Inter Milan. But I don't know whether just because PSG were on another level, but it was. I don't even recall watching Donnarumma tested once. I mean, I don't know if you guys can remember, but I don't remember one single save Donnarumma making. It was such a landslide victory for them. It was crazy watching that.
For me, it felt like a bunch of blokes who are down the gym on a regular basis and they're smashing out all the different workouts and so on and so forth, where they get like their workout routine down to a T versus a bunch of blokes down by the beach having a few pints and not giving a shit and literally just getting a suntan. They were so regimented in what they did. I mean, Doe, is that what the camp? Is that how you
Doué.
That guy, mate, when he took off his shirt, I fell in love with him. He is absolutely ripped to fuck. He is so sexy. But he was just on a different. It was on like a different level. It was on a different level, and I never heard of the bloke before, and his value has gone up by like 100 million.
But he got that goal against Villa as well, which was an amazing goal, and he was showing signs of it. And then it was good to see him start. But I mean, their front line, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, and now Doué, fuck me, like they're young as well. I mean, they'll go a long way. And the way they were running around chasing the ball, like
Yeah.
Inter Milan, they were like rabid dogs. They were just
Mm.
not giving them any room, any room to breathe.
Mm.
It was crazy, but they're young. They can do that.
Mm. It
So
was through ball goals. Every single goal
yeah,
was
it was
like a
just
through
frightening.
ball. Mm.
I
Pace,
think
pace,
they'll
pace.
go. I think they'll go a long way for another couple of years, and I think Luis Enrique, credit to him, he did a great job with them. After obviously fucking up against Dortmund last semi-final last year, but yeah, they're dangerous, mate. I mean, going forward, I think they're going to be right up there next year. I think Barcelona will make a decent comeback. How Barcelona let that slip against Inter in the semi-final was crazy anyway, in its own right. But I feel like if Barcelona were in that final, they would have given them more of a. It would have been more competitive.
I was going to say, like, do you not think that the whole because PSG have gone with this sort of youth route as well, haven't they? Like younger
Mm.
players and being off the likes of like Neymar and Suarez. Actually, years ago, I know the superstars had Messi as well. But then, most importantly, Mbappe.
Yeah.
Do you not think that that gives us a bit? I'm not saying we're going to win next season for anyone sort of thinks I'm saying, alluding that we're going to win the Champions League, but it gives us a bit of hope that I actually think PSG are ahead of schedule for what they're meant to be winning, obviously, the next few years.
But the huge difference is their manager. They've got a winner. They've got a proven
True,
winner
absolutely.
at the
Yeah,
helm, and they've
better
got
goal.
unlimited funds and yeah, an amazing young goalkeeper, a great squad all round. I mean, some of the players I've never even heard of them. They're like 20 years old, 21 years old. Their recruitment has
Mm.
been amazing. And they proved that last night, and they showed it throughout the whole season. I mean, bear in mind they got through against Liverpool. They lost in Paris 1-0, and the people were thinking, "Oh yeah, here we go again." Obviously, all the Arsenal fans were getting bonus thinking after they beat Real Madrid, thinking, "Yeah, we'll do over PSG," because they beat PSG earlier on in the season. And don't forget, PSG were like 15th in the Champions League table. They started off quite shit, and then
Yeah.
come winter, they just
Mm.
turn it on. And fuck me, they look, they end up winning the treble in the end
That's the
and smashing
Yeah.
thing
it.
about the thing about the new format, isn't it? It offers you a bit more
Yeah,
sort of room for error and then be able to sort of just claw it back and
yeah.
ultimately get through. Whereas before you'd be out on your arse and then you'd be down to Europa League or not even that.
Yeah, I think they're going to be right up there for the next couple of years. And I think the only team I could see them really testing is Barcelona because they've got another great young squad. So, yeah, interesting to see how next year pans out. McSweeney, you mentioned about highlights of the season and lowlights. I mean, for me personally, obviously, highlight of the season was seeing us win a trophy on Wednesday. And the low light for me is, again, as I mentioned, just the way we dipped off after winter being so great. And I think we went on a run of unbeaten, losing away, I should say, for quite a while before we finally managed to win one. I can't remember who it was against, but it was just a shame how well we started. And then to just go off like that, it was ridiculous. So yeah, that's my highlights and lowlights. What about you, mate?
So I had finishing fourth, winning the Conference League. I think like Tariq George's breakthrough was important. I think the goal against Fulham to me was absolutely
Mm.
brilliant. Like that really propelled us to get
Yeah,
back
it
into
was a
the
huge
sort of
win as well. We needed those 3 points.
yeah, and I remember actually coming out because I lost signals. I was in the gym at the time, but I went for a swim, and then I remember coming out. I reconnected to Wi-Fi. I actually thought we were going to lose that game because we were on such a dismal run of form.
Yeah.
And when we managed to turn it around with Neto's goal and in addition to Tyreek George's equaliser, I remember being literally changing. I'm like, yes, like that, like pumping the fist, standing in the towel as you do. And, yeah, it was just that kind of like, look, can we just try and shift this dark cloud now? And we gradually,
Yeah.
thankfully, did. Cole Palmer's mesmeric form in the first half of the season, the 4 goals against Brighton in that first
Yeah.
half. I mean, I wasn't watching the match live, but it was Saturday 3 o'clock, wasn't it? But it was just incredible that whole. He should have really got 5 or 6, shouldn't he?
Yeah, I do vaguely remember it. I do remember watching it live, and yeah, it was just crazy.
Yeah,
As you said, he should have got a lot more.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I think he hit the post and he got a goal disallowed in the first half too. So he could have got 6 goals in the
Oh
first
yeah,
half.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was just like the most incredible thing I've probably seen. And there's obviously been more senior players than him that have like banged in 5 goals. You know, Berbatov, Defoe. Did Shearer get 5 against? Or was it 4 against Sheffield Wednesday? I think years ago, 8-0.
I
Obviously,
can't
last
remember.
season he got 4 for us, didn't he, against Everton?
Yeah, I think Defoe scored 5 against Wigan, didn't he? When they beat
Yeah,
them, was it 8-1
That
or
was it.
5-1?
9-1, I think it was.
I was at the game when Lampard got 4 against Derby, and I got 4 against Villa as well in the 7-1.
Henri,
Just
did he ever
yeah.
get quite a few?
Who, sorry, mate?
Henri, when he was at Arsenal, because he scored 4 in one game, didn't he?
Did he get 4?
I don't
Possibly.
think
Was it
so.
against Borough or something?
Maybe. I don't remember if I've seen him on that list because they normally, on Match of the Day or whatever, they normally bring up the list, don't they?
Mm.
Or
Cole got 5,
Sky.
didn't he? Andy Cole.
Yeah, Andy Cole, I'm
forget
pretty
about
sure
him.
he is.
Shearer?
Yeah.
I can't remember, but honestly, it's been a while. But
I just think that, that the way we played in the first half of the season was
mm,
after that sort of Bournemouth away match where we were struggling. I think they turned the corner and then started to turn it on and be positive with like their movement and their passing. Low lights, Maresca's tactics, particularly from about December to April. The fact you came out and said what you said. Losing to Legia Warsaw at home, where I was at the game, and it just felt like they were just limping over the line against a pretty poor side. Although their fans were absolutely unbelievable. You know, the skins in the stand and letting off flares. That was actually a bit of a highlight, actually.
yeah,
But Brighton away in the cup and the league within 6 days. Now, you guys tell me which was the worst performance, but I actually thought the one in the league was worse because that Matoma goal was unbelievable, but we didn't even lay a glove on them, did we, the whole game?
yeah. I mean, it's always shit to go out of a cup. I mean, it would have been nice to go further in that FA Cup, so that for me hurt more. But again, we were on that run where, as I mentioned, the away games we were just dog shit. We were just not winning and losing
Yeah,
game after game. So I wasn't surprised we did lose, but yeah, it was just poor form all round when it came to the away games during that period.
yeah,
But the
and
cup hurt more.
cup hurt more, but I think the Friday night games. I'm not massively keen on Friday night football,
Mm,
but it was just like it's the start of your weekends, and I think that's probably what irritated me more. The
yeah,
fact that he couldn't get a tune out of them after they'd already lost on the previous Saturday. I'd even say I know I'm going on a bit of a bit of a mission against Reska, but Jurgensen and Sanchez both getting thrown under a bus. I think they both really got. I know Sanchez's form was the errors he was making kind of led to him being sort of ousted from the starting
and
eleven.
rightfully
But
so. Yeah, rightfully so.
rightfully so, he's made more errors than anyone else in the league, isn't he? Probably in
Yeah.
the top 5 European leagues. But
Mm.
the fact that Jorgensen then came in after that, and then he made that one mistake against Villa. It's a bad
One, yeah,
error. Then
yeah,
straight
just
away it
one.
was like, no, that's it. You're
Yeah, it was
not.
tough, and it wasn't fair, and it's a shame because it just killed his confidence as well. And apart from that, he'd been playing all right. I mean, in the Conference League, of course, we're playing shit teams, fair enough, but he should have got a decent run in the side. I was delighted to see him start the final and play the final. He could have done nothing about that goal and that we conceded
Nah,
anyway.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he could be one of those keepers who come good. So we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Could do.
Yeah.
And finally, losing away to Ipswich and drawing at home to them, I think
Oh yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Horrible.
much love for the tractor boys and Ed Sheeran and the rest of them, but I mean, absolutely dreadful side this season.
We gave them their first win in the Premier League.
Yeah, and that was their only home win of the season, wasn't it? Or did they
Yeah.
win? Did they win
Probably,
two?
yeah. Probably. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah, just horrendous. Yeah, Timothy, your highlights and
Um,
lowlights.
Highlights were Cole Palmer's 4 goals against Brighton. I was building a wardrobe on that day when they were playing, and I had Absolute Radio on in the background, and I was getting like the goal alerts come through, and it's like I remember that whenever Haaland scored for Man City, there was like a Norwegian theme tune that goes Haaland, Haaland, and that kept on coming up on my phone. Anyway, um, they, like, the person who was reading out the alerts live on the radio kept on saying Cole Palmer scored a goal, Cole Palmer scored a second goal, and Cole Palmer scored a hat-trick in like 20 odd minutes. Cole Palmer scored 4 goals in the first half, and he hit the post, and he had the goal. They said, oh, da, da, da. So, I mean, individually, the bloke has been head over heels. Like, he's been miles above anybody else within the team itself. There are some people who are slightly behind him, but he's been mustard. Playing Wolves and beating them 6-2, Weke finally felt like the money had actually come in for him a little bit. He was brilliant. And kind of climbing up the table a little bit and proving our worth, even though, I mean, people are going to listen to this podcast if they're like an Arsenal fan or a Liverpool fan or whatever and say, look, you guys spend like a country GDP on a fucking team, so shut the fuck up. But we came in a lot earlier and we started to fight a lot earlier. Then we kind of whittled away a little bit later. Colwell playing well in the team, Jorgensen playing well, Sanchez having his little wobble. In individual moments that helped out, individual moments that didn't help out. Terry George coming in and playing absolute mustard. Sancho finding a second wind a little bit by playing with another team and playing pretty well. Jackson being a little bit iffy. Moments that I hated were Brighton. To be honest, lads, I've not even watched the Brighton highlights of either game away from home, and I don't even want to watch it at all. Because
what was your excuse for the second one? It was Valentine's Day, wasn't it? The second
whatever,
one.
mate. Honestly, I don't have a fucking clue.
At least you had a valid excuse for that one, Valentine's night.
Yeah, I can't remember for the life of me. But listening to the reaction from people, it was like one of the worst Chelsea performances ever of the season itself. But for me, the worst game that we played this season in a game that we needed to win to solidify Champions League football was Newcastle away. We were so bad in that game. Jackson getting sent off for basically slapping someone. We did absolutely fuck all in that game. We like it was like bright. It was literally like PSG against Inter Milan yesterday. Like we had the firepower up front in Palmer, fucking Neto, so on and so forth, and we did absolutely dick all. We were just literally run rugged at the back. It was one of the worst games I've seen.
I do want to mention we played better when Jackson got sent off. Funnily enough, when
That's what I heard
donkey
as well.
got sent off.
Yeah,
because I was watching the game live, and we played better when that dickhead got sent off. We had chances.
Hanging on.
Yeah, no, they were under the cosh bit when it was at 1-0, obviously, and we were attacking. Then obviously they got the second goal and killed it off. But yeah, Jackson needs to fucking go. End of. Last question before we end it. Standout player of the season. Timothy, you go first again.
Palmer is, without a shadow of a doubt, he is one of the biggest retards ever. Because when he talks, he's thick as shit. But he's a typical man. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. But when it comes to football, he's an absolute genius. Like he's able to slow the pace down. He's able to speed it up. He's able to control the game itself whenever he has the ball. He did go through a little bit of a duff period where he wasn't scoring goals and like he wasn't assisting. It was a good few games, wasn't it? It was a good few months, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he missed that penalty as well.
Yeah.
But for me, head and shoulders above. No questions asked for me.
McSweeney?
I went with the consensus of Chelsea fans and the obviously the players' player of the year. It was Moises Caicedo, because I just think he's been so dependable, and also like the way he's performed just at a consistent level throughout the season. I know he doesn't really. I mean, the goals that he does tend to be bangers. Yeah, half volley against Man United, previous season against Bournemouth, and then he capped it off with his goal in the final, didn't he? But I think just the intensity he shows, and I just love to see that. I love to see that warrior in midfield that just chase people down and constantly hound the opposition. I don't think he gets booked too much for the amount of work he puts in, actually. So I think he's. I don't think we had to suffer any suspensions, did we? Because I said I don't think we did. And correct me if I'm wrong.
I feel like he might have got 10 yellows and missed one or 5 yellows and missed a game or something. I can't remember.
I think he played.
I think he got about 8, maybe 9 yellow cards.
Yeah, I thought he played every single game of the season, actually.
Let me double check.
Yeah, because I'm sure they said the other day he was ever present, and it's one you wouldn't be surprised if he missed at least one game. But I think for him he was just always there, and he just the tackling. I don't think he's rash with his tackling. I think he's quite. He played every single game, didn't he?
11 yellow cards.
11
yellow cards, but total played 38, started 38. How the hell could he get 11 yellow cards?
So he must
38 games.
No, it resets, doesn't it? Yeah.
The amnesty, yeah. Is it halfway through the season you got the amnesty? If you're on say 9 yellow cards and you get your 10th on the 19th or 20th game, they allow you to not get suspended.
But how many things got like Ugarte, who decided he only played 1 or 2 games for Man U, but he got 100 million yellow cards this season. He got a stupid amount this season.
He'd get booked for doing a warm up, that guy.
Yeah, he got 11 yellow cards and he was involved in 29 games. So, 7? No, 9 less, but he's still got the same yellow cards as Frank. He's a typical Uruguayan twat.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Yeah, so for me, Moises Caicedo, Ecuadorian Tiger. What about you, Maji?
I think I'm going to go with Cucurella.
Oh.
I think just watching him again week in, week out, he's just really passionate, just non-stop, always putting the effort in, never being lazy. I just like what he's about. And because I was so critical of him when he first came in, I thought he was absolute shite. And I didn't understand why Chile got dropped and then we were playing Cucurella instead. And obviously Vega had a few games as well. But I just think he's turned it around so well. And I think he's one of the, if not the best left back in the league. I'm really impressed with him, really am, and I think he'll only go from strength to strength. Obviously, winning the Euros in the summer done him the world of good as well. I just love what he's about, his passion. He never stops running down that wing all game. And scoring crucial goals throughout the season, including that one against Man United. He scored a few goals this season. I think he might have got 5, or I think they were showing the stats. Yes, I think they were showing the stats of top scoring defenders, and he was at the top of the list. So, important goals, and I feel like he might have actually scraped one of those awards. Caicedo got it, rightfully so. He was mustard as well all season. I think he was brilliant. Again, similar characteristics, non-stop, passionate, always like an engine, basically. I think it was very tight, but I have to give him his props. It was amazing this season, and I hope he carries on that form to the following season.
I think also as well we did get laughed at, and rightfully so. Was it 60 million when Todd Bowley, when he was playing Championship Manager in his sporting director role? that first summer when he got Sterling, Koulibaly, Cucurella, and whoever else, it was one of those where you just kind of thought, oh, it's just going to be one that we're just going to regret. We're going to lose a load of money. But yeah, you're right. He's just completely... Since the game he came back, I think I was at the game in the FA Cup we scored against either Leeds or Leicester. And since that game, he's just... That was season before last. He's just turned it around, and fair play to him. There's a lot of characters, lesser characters that are just thought, I'm going to... Well, okay, put it this way. Characters like, unfortunately, Christopher Nkunku, who have just wilted, just kind of given into the... I'm not getting played in my favourite position. I'm not doing this, that, the other.
He's sulking on the pitch. He just doesn't care.
It's poor, and it's why certain players like that, you just got to get them out before it becomes a bit of a disease at the club. But thankfully, people can banter us for celebrating finishing 4th and winning the Conference League, but those players have got every right to celebrate that because It's a young group of
Yeah,
players,
yeah.
and they seem to be quite a close knit group now, which is good.
A trophy is a trophy at the end of the day. And even when West Ham won it 2 or 3 years ago, a part of me was just happy for them because I could see how much it, for the fans, especially because they never won anything in donkey's years.
Yeah.
To be honest, even Spurs win the Europa League. The few friends who I have who are Spurs fans, or people post something on social media, actually commented saying, well done or congratulations, and saying, yeah, good job, because again, they've not experienced that for so long, and it was quite nice for them to win it, and obviously at the expense of Man United. So yeah, no, I think when people moan like the petty Arsenal fans saying, "Oh, but Spurs only won a Europa League and they were finished 17th. Oh, it was an awful season." Fuck off, mate. They won a trophy. End of. And you won fuck all. That's the bottom line. Same with United. I know they have been really quiet, their fans especially, because they've done fuck all, and they blew it in the final against Spurs, and they played. That was one of the worst finals ever known to man. Actually, it was an awful final.
Oh God, yeah.
Um, but bottom line is Spurs won a trophy and they got Europa League, regardless of where the fuck they finished in the league. And yeah, all the petty Arsenal fans can shut their mouth because they won fuck all for 5 years, coming second and moaning about coming second. Like Arteta said, what a cringeworthy quote it was. Oh, but we've won more we won more points in the last couple of seasons than Liverpool have this year, so we would have won the league if it was. I'm like, fuck off, mate. It's so cringe.
It's a bit like when they used to say, "Oh yeah, we've gone under Wenger how many years like getting out of
Top
the
four,
groups."
yeah.
But not even that. Yeah, there's that. But getting out of the group stage of the Champions League, and I'm like, that means absolutely bugger all if you don't
Yeah.
actually go on and win it.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
England could like get to like they used to get to like the second round quarterfinals, not actually do anything. And it's like, well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Like
Mm.
you're not threatening anything. You're ticking a box. You're not.
Yeah, no one's going to remember in 10 years' time that Spurs finished 17th. No one gives a shit. They're going to
No,
remember the
no.
fact that they won a trophy. Same
Yeah,
with any cup who wins a trophy.
yeah.
Mm.
I was going to say actually, because one of the things that I like to kind of look at is like certain players are underappreciated, or we've obviously picked out three different players. I thought we would go for the same player. I thought we'd all unanimously say Caicedo, but that's probably
Yeah.
my ego just talking there. But um, who would you say is your unsung hero? The guy that doesn't really get much of the praise or hasn't had much of the praise, the plaudits this season. Who do you think's been that sort of guy that's excelled or done well in certain ways, but not really quite had the clamour or the
See, I think my answer would have been that actual response, because I would have probably gone for Caicedo as well. He's the right option, but I tried to go for someone who didn't get the credit, or didn't get as a good mention as he probably should have in Cucurella. So I have to stick with Cucurella, in all honesty.
yeah. What
Yeah.
you told me, you sticking with yours unsung
No,
hero.
because I'd say Palmer would be the obvious option, but I would say it would either be Caicedo because of the bollocks that he got last season when he first joined, and everyone was like, "Fucking hell, what a waste of money." He's just another Chelsea rent boy a little bit. He's just trying to who's after like a six-figure sum each and every week. But he turned it around, and he just turned into like a maestro for the team. Enzo Fernandez scores goals whenever we need goals to be scored, like against Spurs when he scored that goal to make it 2-1, wasn't it?
I
Was it
think
2-1?
Enzo's a great shot, but yes, he did score very important goals
Mm.
throughout the season.
He done
Oh
that.
yeah. Was it was it
Um,
was it 3-2, wasn't it?
was it 3-2? I
Might
can't
have been three
remember.
two.
I
Might have
I
honestly
been
think it
can't
was
remember.
3-2. Yeah, it was 3-2.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that felt like so, that was again that would have probably been up there one of the worst performances because it's against your biggest rival and you're losing 2-0. No, it was 2-1 at half time, wasn't it? Because we scored right on the
Yeah, I
end of
think we got
half
something
time.
back, didn't we? Yeah, and it's like the cracks started to
Mm.
appear for Spurs, they normally do.
Mm. You got Cook as well, who was the most hated man in England a little bit, like it felt like after the European Championship final, because they obviously beat England, and because Cooks is such a wind-up merchant, it kind of felt like he was going to be murdered playing in England, but he turned it around. He's been brilliant. Reece James to come back from an injury like that and like to play like that on Wednesday as well when we needed him was brilliant. He put on that captain's armband and he absolutely smashed it and he didn't even break a fucking sweat. It felt like we needed him to put in that kind of shift. For me, another big one would be Colwell. He's been a solid bloke at the back. Chelsea put him through as well. He's young. He obviously scored the goal last Sunday to help us qualify for the Champions League, but he's been pretty solid. And he's a wind-up merchant as well, which is someone that we needed in that team. All those players mentioned are players that play in the midfield in like a more defensive midfield element or a defender. We're a very top-heavy team, it feels like, and we've not been hitting those top-heavy heights with getting a player who would score goals left, right and centre, apart from Cole Palmer. But Jackson's been a little bit edgy. Noni's been a little bit edgy. Neto's been a bit edgy. Sancho's been edgy. And Nkunku had a really bad injury a few years ago, didn't he? For France, right before the European Championship. Was he for European Championship or the World Cup? I can't remember. Now.
Well, he came back for us, didn't he? But he had most of last season out, didn't he? And then he wasn't going to make the squad. But I think it might have been the World Cup in Qatar. He was trying to make, wasn't it?
So he's not been the same player since. So when he was at Leipzig, I mean, you could probably say the same thing for Timo Werner. When he was at Leipzig, he was brilliant, and then he came to us, and he just turned to a dog shit player. For Nkunku, you could probably say the exact same thing, but I think an injury like that does knock the confidence in someone quite a bit, and to then go from a very slow-paced league to a very fast-paced league where you need to be on your A game all the time. He just probably wasn't on his A game, and then he just got shooed off to the side. And if he wants to fuck off, then just let him fuck off, and we'll lose a bit of money on him. But it's Chelsea; they don't give a bollocks.
He's still banged in about 14 goals. I know against like Cannon Fodder in the conference.
I know, yeah. Exactly.
He's still done, and like Bournemouth away, it was a big goal, and Southampton like that. He's still like showing moments of class. It's just I don't think he's been a bad play for us. I just think he's just sulking like Mud says, and he's just stuck in this sort of tunnel vision of like, oh, it's I can't basically make the breakthrough here, so I'm just gonna throw my toys out the pram and not really do much. That's not what we need. So he needs. I think Madueke at times he seems very casual and laid back, but he is a very talented player and he does give us something. But Nkunku's not giving us anything. He's just just dead. I'd agree with. I'd actually go for Colwell as being the unsung hero. I think he's been just showing that grit. Really, you need that proper Chelsea, and again the fact that it's an academy graduate coming through and scoring that goal that gets you over the line for the Champions League football as well. It's always going to mean more, isn't it? Always going to mean more. Same as George's goal against Fulham. Yeah, I think I'd go with Colwell. But who'd you say you would go for in the end? Caicedo?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. I'd say so.
I think we'll leave it at that. I was actually going to say, discussing who was the shittest, but I think we'll just collectively agree it was Jackson. We'll leave it at that. Okay, so
Sassy.
We'll leave it at that because we're running out of time. I'll keep it to an hour if I can. And I don't know what we're going to discuss. We might start doing a few lists, like top 10, top 5 lists as well. I do want to discuss actually one topic, probably be cartoons. I think we can really delve into that a little bit more about childhood as well. I know we did TV shows, but I want to do something specific. But we'll decide that next week. But for now, au revoir. Good evening.
Yeah, bonsoir.
See you all next week. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.